Hi, welcome everybody to this afternoon's webinar with APH and Boyum Solutions. Today we're going to be focusing on Boyum's cloud app solutions. First of all, I'm going to hand over to our partner manager, Dan McLaughlin, who could introduce the session.
Thanks, Tim. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan McLaughlin. I run the UK office for Boyum IT Solutions. Boyum is the biggest software solutions provider or add-on provider in the SAP Business One space. Many of you probably know us already thanks to our usability pack or B1UP, Project Scan and various other products. We currently have over 12,000 customers and 200,000 users across 130 countries running our solutions. And we have 12 add-on products in our portfolio. So the ones we're going to look at today are our cloud apps for production, covering product creation, quality inspection and production processing. They are inexpensive products, which are quick and easy to implement and learn. So you can be up and running in a matter of days. If you see something you like, then we're more than happy to have a private session for you with Tim and the guys from APH. So just let them know if this is the case. I'll hand over now to my colleague Rosie, who is a solution advisor and product expert.
Hello, thank you so much for the introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Rosie Coronado. I will be the one presenting the solutions to you today. Thanks for joining, and hopefully we have a fun and very informative hour today. So, as Dan said, we're going to introduce the cloud apps to you today. What are the cloud apps? So as we all know, we have apps on the phone. We all know what apps are. We just download them. And the cloud apps from Boyum kind of are the same thing. But instead of downloading it to the phone, you plug it into your SAP Business One database, and you have an extended solution for SAP Business One. What I'm going to show you today on a high level, and as Dan mentioned, if there's some one of the apps you want to see a deep dive, of course, contact Tim. So we're going to see Build, which is a product management solution. This is where you can build your bill of material online and do all the designing of your bill of material. And once you're happy with it, you upload it to your SAP Business One. I'm going to show you Produce, which is your terminal for SAP Business One. So if you do production in SAP Business One, now you have a terminal where you can register time and material, and you do not have to print out those production orders anymore and write on them, and then somebody has to key it in SAP Business One. Produce will automate that for you. And then we have Inspect, which is quality control for SAP Business One. So now you have a quality control solution for SAP Business One, which is very flexible. You can automate when do you want to create a quality control order. So where do those cloud apps come in? You guys know this slide. If you look at the gray boxes and the blue boxes, this is all your SAP Business One. So now we're going to plug in Build, which will help you on the item master data, because it can build your bill of material in a simpler way. And you also can do cost calculation before you upload it to SAP Business One to make sure you charge enough, to the customer, your labor and material cost. So then we go to Produce. Where does Produce come in? It is an extension to your SAP Business One. I always say it's an additional module, because in SAP, you do your production orders, then you print. Here, the production orders show up in Produce on the shop floor. On your screen, the manager can handle all the production orders there, and the operators have a terminal where they can start and stop the route stages, the operation, and register time and material. And then we have Inspect. Inspect, of course, comes in when you receive goods in. You want to do quality control for your raw material during production or after production. And again, you can automate when do you want to create a inspection order, maybe for a certain item group, maybe for certain vendors, maybe for certain items. That's all for you to configure. You can configure that, and it's very flexible. So the key benefits on those apps. So it's about, hey, what am I missing? It would be nice if I would have a quality control solution, because now we use user-defined fields and we key everything in. It's role-based. So I need something for my quality control department. I need something for my shop floor. I need something for my product management department. So this is where the apps come in. It's filling the gaps. It's very easy to set up. As I mentioned, plug it in like a lamp. Pretty much that's what you do. Synchronize it and you're ready to go. Very easy to use. You will see the use, the feel, and the use when I move around in those apps is very, very easy, and customers really like it. And of course, increased automation. That's what we all like. We like automation, as then mentioned earlier. Some of you hopefully know the usability package, and we are all about automating your tasks. So, oops, where did my mouse go? There it is. So let's start with Build. So Build is a product management solution. Imagine I'm a product manager, I'm an engineer, and I do create bill of material all day long. That's my department. We create bill of material. Maybe we have engineer to order, for example. But not even this, like I had people in the food industry when COVID hit, because people ordered so much online, so they put those bill of materials together with this app. Okay, so you get a product request, then you can import in the BOM material from Excel, configure it on the app, and then when you are happy with it, you upload it to your SAP Business One. So it will not exist in SAP till you upload it. Okay, so now I'm going to jump in to my apps. So the way you connect the apps is through the service layer, your SAP Business One service layer, and you will access them online. Okay, they really look good on the tablets. You will see on my slide a lot. The tablets looks great on this tablet, and I have a regular screen right now what I'm presenting. So there is Build. Here are my apps. You see there is one box for Build, one license. It's for product management. You see Produce. I have two licenses. I have a manager license and I have an operator license. So the manager manages all the production orders on the shop floor here. You guys are going to love that. And then the operator is a terminal. They have a little maybe tablet, and they see the production orders released, and they start the operations, the route stages, and then the register time and material. But there's two licenses to that. And then there is Inspect Quality Control, exactly the same as Produce. You have two licenses. The Inspect Manager, as in this case, sets everything up because, as you know, SAP Business One doesn't have quality control. And then you have the operator, just like on Produce, they execute those inspection orders. But let's jump into Build. I have it open already. I clicked on it already. There is Build. What do I see on Build? You see when you come in here a board where you have all your product requests. And you see different statuses. You see new requests, in progress, awaiting for approval, completed. You can also do a list view and then do the different stages. I like the board view. What else do I have here? Let's go through this here really quick. I have all my items here. They, of course, come from my database, from my connected database. Okay, so here are all my items. Here are all my resources. And here are all my operations, which are called route stages in SAP. Okay, so of course I can always go in here and look up an item here. I can say just show me the produced items or just show me the purchased items. As you see, all the purchased items are blue and the produced items are yellow. You also can go in here and open one existing item up, This is a produced item, an existing bill of material in SAP Business One, and maybe you need to change something for this BOM, because maybe you stop using a certain raw material and add a new raw material. Of course, you can do that. You can delete raw material. You can add new material to this BOM, and then you can save it. And of course, you can update your SAP Business One. As soon as you save it here, you are able, if you go into SAP Business One, the BOM is going to be changed right away too. That's another thing, guys. It's real time. If you put a new item in your database, I can look for it here right away. Vice versa, I can add a new item here, a new resource here, or a new route stage, and it will show in your database right away. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to worry about synchronizing anything. It's real time, and that's what you want. You want to have real time solution, because then you always have real time data. So not only can you look up items, you can also add new items if you would like. So let's say I get a product request. I prepared one for you because we only have an hour for all three solutions. But as Tim and Dan mentioned earlier, of course, we can do a deep dive. A one-to-one. If you're interested, just contact Tim. So I have all those requests here. So let's go to this one. So how does it work? You would say new request, add a new request. I'm sending you an email, and I would like for you to build me a certain item. So you name the request whatever you want. You put your description. You can also put in here, when do I have to have this bill of material finished? Okay, and the system tells you, hey, you have a week to finish this bill of material. So put yourselves a due date right there, you as the engineer. Then this is the product I'm building. And when I send you the request, maybe I did send you maybe some specs. Maybe I send you a draft. This is kind of what I want this car to look like, or a golf cart. I don't know, whatever it is. You can attach documents here, very much like that. Okay, so you can always pull up these documents from here. And of course, you can attach more than one. The other thing what you can do, imagine you're an engineer, you built this item for weeks. You can put yourself some sticky notes here, some tasks. And then when you're done and check this with the customer or with whoever you need to, you can scratch those tasks out. Very popular also, you make your little task list. That way you know you have to do that. Okay? So you start planning. You always can say save. You can change the status here and keep going. Then you go to bill of material. And as I mentioned earlier, when you have the bill of material, you can either copy the BOM from another item. Imagine I have an item, it's very similar, but I have to change or add some items or change a few things out. You just copy it from another BOM, and then you make your adjustments. You can import it from Excel. Of course, that's super flexible, right? And very much like, and then of course you can add material one by one, like you do in SAP line by line. Okay, so here's the material I need to build this product. Okay, and I see also, so I have some sub assemblies in here. I see the yellow because those are sub assemblies, and I can always drill back and open. Oops. Oh, I didn't save it. I gotta save this first. Then I can always drill back and open up this sub-assembly to view it. Okay? And it goes back to it. So that's also very nice that you can stay on the screen and you just drill back. Okay, so now I'm going to see, okay, I have my material. So what are the steps I need to do to build that? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all this, because I already did it, but I want you to see how cool this is. I'm going to do. So now I have my material. There's right here. I have items in the BOM. And now I'm going to say I need to this route stage and this route stage to make this item. And for the first route stage, I need this machine, and then for the second one, I need this machine. And of course, you can set up time, and you can do job time for each resource. Okay, I'm just going to type something really quick. Now I'm going here and say, you know what, this one and this one and this one and maybe this one I need for my first step, and the rest I need for the second step, just for you guys to see how nice it is to build this bill of material. So you just keep going and build it. You save it, walk away, come back the next day, go back in and continue. So I used all my bill of material I had on this tab. Okay, everything is good. Of course, you can always access all the other material from the database too. But now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go to the item structure. If any of you know our advanced manufacturing BS, you probably know that name, item structure. It's just a different view from here. And what's nice that you can actually go and also, again, you can open up the sub-assemblies and see what does it take. What is this sub-assembly made of? Okay, but now, so it's all good. I'm building a bill of material. Nothing. Let's pretend it's a new one. Nothing is in SAP except the end product. Okay, except of course this product is in SAP, and now I'm building the bill of material. Now this is gonna be the kicker. This is something. It's amazing. It's the cost calculation. Now I can go in here and say, you know what? Let me do a new calculation. Okay, and I'm going to say, I am gonna, my price source is the base price, or maybe it's the last purchase price, whatever you would like it to be. And if I decide to upload the calculated sales price to my SAP Business One, I want it to go to this price list. And a lot size of 1, I'm gonna calculate. I'm gonna calculate this. And there we go. So you see it calculates my labor and material cost, my sales cost. Here is my sales price. And where do those percentages come? They come from your configuration here. There is a setting here, and this is where you put in there. Say, hey, usually my indirect labor cost is 3%, indirect material cost is 3%, and so on. And then you can do, for example, oh, you know what? This customer called me constantly and I had to change constantly something on the BOM. I'm going to charge him 7% at admin cost, and you will see the price keeps changing. So I usually say play with those numbers, or maybe I said, you know, we had an agreement that shipping is maybe $500. Okay, so you can also do flat amounts, not just percentages. So this is your cost calculation. You play with those numbers. And then down here, you have a nice chart with total indirect cost, direct cost, and sales cost. And if you go over here, you have the list view. And this is very much liked also because you see all the material needed for this one product, the unit cost, the total cost, and also from all the machines needed. Because I have sub-assemblies, so you see I have more than one resource here, okay? And I don't have any dollar amounts, I apologize for that. But once you're happy, you can say update sales price on release. That means it would upload this price into my regular sales price in SAP. You save it and then you release it you click the release button and it will upload it to SAP and you're ready to do production on this item. Super nice app, very much liked by engineers, you know, somebody who does bill of material all day long because they are able to access existing ones. They can build new ones. They can change existing ones. So it's a very nice tool. And as you see right here, cost calculation, that's just great. That keeps you you don't have to go to many screens like you have to do in SAP. You have it all in one screen and see exactly what this items is costing you. Okay, so that was built. That was one of the apps. So, and again, you know, these apps are all separate. You can get them all. You can get 2 of them. You can only get 1 of them, whatever you need. That doesn't mean you need to all 3. Okay. Also, that's something I need to mention because I get that question sometimes. Now let's go to Produce. So Produce is your terminal for SAP Business One, your production floor module, your shop floor module, whatever you would like to call it. So if I go over here, so Produce, 2 licenses, remember, I mentioned that. So the first license is the manager. And I absolutely love that because I used to implement SAP Business One for many, many years. Finally, there is a solution where you can connect and you don't have to print, waste paper, get loose paper, write on paper. Now you have a solution where everything is online basically and you have full control over it. So the manager can release the production orders that he wants to or she wants to be worked on. They see exactly who is working on what production order. So there is no more yelling out to the shop floor, what are you working on? No, you just open up this dashboard and you know exactly who is working on what. You know which production order was finished. So everything you have right in front of you, you know what's going on the shop floor. And then you have the operators. They are on the shop floor working on it, and they have a tablet, as you see here on this picture. They just say start, and you see that the time is clicking. And then you can register time and material in SAP, depending how you have it set up. If you have backflash set up, of course, it's going to backflash. If you have set up manual, then of course it will register the time they actually worked on it and also the material you book. So let's look at that. You know, it's such a joy for me to show you this because I like it so much. So again, let's go back to Launchpad. There is my Produce manager and my Produce operator. Okay, so I open everything up. I would click on this. There is the manager. The first thing the manager actually sees is a dashboard. Let me do something quick. Okay, there we go. The first thing the manager sees is a dashboard, as you saw. So I see that George is working on a production order, Vicky is working on a production order, and Maria. And each one is working on a different production order. And you see which machine they are using. Okay, so maybe I say, let me check on George. Let me see what production order this is. So I see this is production order, of course, 183. It's for this customer. It's this item. And this production order has 3 steps, 3 route stages. And you see that first 2 were completed. George is actually working on the last one. Okay, ignore my dates, it's an old one. So he's working on the last one. So me as the manager maybe want to say, I want to see who did the first 2 steps for these production orders. So the manager can always go in here and has a detailed view on everything. So this production order has 3 steps. So the first one is completed. Show me the details. And you see right here, George worked on it 5 months ago. Sorry about that. And he did a partial stop and then he completed it. And who worked on the second one? Again, the second step on this production order, I see George did a partial stop, Maria worked, helped him, and then George completed it. So you know exactly what happened to your production order for each step. You have it right here at your fingertip. And on the third one, we know George is working on it. Okay. You see right here. Oh, Vicky worked on it. She started these steps and now George is working on it. So you have everything at your fingertips. Let me get out of here. There we go. So then, of course, I can go back here. and look at Vicky's production order if I want to. So what else do I see here? I see I have 5 production orders missing start dates. I see that I have 3 production orders. They are not started. I have 3 they are being worked on. Those are the 3. I have 0 with partial completion and 1 completed. I also see that how many production orders I closed the past 7 days. And I closed 1. I just did it earlier. We closed another one in a minute, and it was not on time. If it would be on time, it would be green. I also see that I have 7 production orders on low priority, 2 on medium priority, and 6 on high priority. So where does this come from? Super cool. You can go in here and say, you know what? I am going to do priority settings. I want the system, this app, to look at the due date of the production order. And if it's 10 days out, I want it to change to medium. If it's 5 days out, to high priority. That's why you see the priorities there. Okay. So now, of course, I'm the shop floor manager. I need to see all the production orders. I need everything that has planned. I need everything that's released or they're completed. You, of course, can do that. You go over here. This is the production order list. And what you see here, you see all the production orders. And I hope you guys can see it. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you, because I was traveling with my laptop, so I always have to make it a little bit smaller. So you see all the production orders here. They're either released. When you see this here, that means released. When you see this here, that means planned. So, and what this means also when it's unapproved planned, that the operators on the shop floor cannot see them yet. You have full control as the manager. You release them when you think they're ready or you want them to start working on it. You see this one finalized. That means this one is completed. This production order only had 1 step and is completed. And you as the manager can go in here and finalize it here. That means it will close the production order in your database. Okay. And then you see in progress, that means, hey, something has happened to them. They're working on it. For example, here you see the first step was done, but nothing has been done to the other steps. You also see, let me go over here. You see right here, there is there's somebody working on it. And again, the manager can see from the dashboard who is working on 183 or goes to the detail view. And I see also here that somebody's working on it. Okay, so the manager has full control right here. So now let's say the manager maybe wants to release this production order. Let's just pretend I want to release this production order. Maybe I want to release both as the same item anyway. But you know what? I want to know as a manager, can I release it? Do I have the material in stock to build this? Is the raw material in stock? So what the manager can do, they can check 1 or more production orders. Then they can go in here and say material availability. And what this does is it will go through your database and it's going to check, do I have the material to build that product? And you see, in my case, it's all green, which is a good thing. But you could also have yellow. That means it's an order, or red. Hey, you have a problem. There's nothing in stock. So super nice feature, because you don't want to release it if the material is not available, right? So, and unless I release it, the operator cannot work on it. So now let's go over here. Let's go to the operator. So let's go over to this license, which are the operator. So we just looked at the manager. Let's go to the operator. So the operator goes here and the operator sees all the released production orders. Okay. The operator has several things. So up here, they see my operation, just a little bit of an explanation. That means I'm working on it, or those are my production orders I have touched already. So I started this earlier now, almost an hour ago, before we started this session. So you see the operator I just clicked start earlier. We're going to start another one so you can see it. Okay. I say there was a partial completion. There was 2 completed. They're working on 8. And the operator, just like the manager, can go in here and say, hey, who worked on this before? Oops. And I see also the first operation was completed for this production order. The second one was completed. And the third one I'm working on, and Vicky is actually the same one. We looked at it earlier. And Vicky did help me. She started it out, but I'm finishing it today. Imagine that even the operator knows exactly what has been done to this production order. Very powerful. You don't have to yell around on your production floor, or email or text or whatever you need to do. You also see this is my resource when I started it, and you also see this, the raw material needed. And you all know SAP Business One, so backflash is backflash. We know what this is. This is set to manual. That means I have to book it, me as the operator. And then I have one that says not required. That means I'm issuing it ahead of time to the production line. You can configure this and say, you know what, I don't want to backflash. I want to set this item as manual, but I want to issue it ahead of time because I actually use our Bodomex scan for that. So you have a setting and say, you know what, to the operator, it's telling me as the worker, as the operator, I don't have to book this because I'm supposed to have it. They gave it to me. Otherwise, he couldn't build it anyway, right? So you have all that flexibility. However you want to book it back to SAP. You want to issue ahead of time, you want the operator to issue it, or you backflash. Okay? And before I started this, I pulled up my instructions because you see this button right here and it says instruction. Okay? So I have instructions. And what is this? This is a text line on your production orders. Okay, so any route stage, you put a text line, or you can have 2 text lines, 3 text lines. It would say 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put instructions in there. Okay. Oh, am I stuck? Hold on. Oh, there we go. I guess I'm not a good clicker. So this is George working on this. Okay, so he started working on this. Let me see. Oh, there we go. It just came back. Sorry about that, guys. I think I lost internet for a second. Sorry. So George working on this. Now let's go in here, and I can log off, go in as Vicky, and so on. But let's look at this. What else can I see here? I can say, show me all the operations they are ready to start. Or show me everything. Because imagine you have a production order with 10 steps. It would show all 10 steps. Or you just say, show me everything ready to start. Okay, so let's look at 185, for example. There's 185. I have 3 steps. Nothing has been done. And now I'm going to click ready to start. This actually was a request from users. And you will see there will be only 1 step for 185. It's the first step. Just to clean, have it a little bit more clear if you have a lot of production orders. And you can always search for production orders. You have more filters here. So there is a lot of options, and operator can kind of filter the screen the way they want it. Of course, they can also hide some of those fields, or display more fields. Like we have 3 user-defined fields, you can also display. So it's very flexible. But if I go to this one, I'm just going to click on one of them that has not been started. And what you're going to see here, it's gray because nothing has, it's not a good one because I have no material. Let me go to another one. Sorry about that. Let me go to 184. So there we go. For example, this is a new route stage that needs to be worked on. Again, I can go to my view and see, hey, was there anything done to this production order? And I see the first operation was completed by Vicky and nothing else was done. So I'm going to start this. And I also see, just don't want to confuse you, our quality control also ties in with this produce. Okay, so I see there was an inspection order on my previous route stage and it failed. It tells me maybe I need to check something. Okay, so and there's also another inspection order for this one. I'm not going to get into details. Like I said, if we can do a deep dive demo, I will deep dive. But there's actually, I have an inspection order here because I said when I start an operation 4, there needs to be an inspection order. And this is my material. So I'm logged in as George and I'm going to click start. There's my instructions. Of course, I'm supposed to read the instructions and there we go. George is working on it. Now, what I want you to see is I'm going to go to the manager and I'm going to the dashboard and you will see now that George is working on 2 production orders. That's what I want you to see because it's real time. You always know what's going on. And remember, we finalized another one. So I have 2 I closed the last 7 days. So I'm going to go back here and we're going to go to this one. This one has been running longer. And so what we are going to do, we're going to go to this one and we're going to say stop. So you see remaining were 8, completed were 2. So I'm going to say stop. So you always can do a partial stop, then it would turn blue and it's still available for the operators to work on it. That I would say more work is required. Those are my partial stops, but I'm going to finish this one. I'm going to see what I've worked on. I'm going to put in there what I've worked on. You can record scrap, of course, which is very popular. Then you see this was the time. Expected time was 8. I took me an hour. This resource is set to backflash, so I cannot do anything. If it's set to manual, it would actually be in here 56 minutes, and it would book 56 minutes. And here is my material, and you see that this one's a backflashed. I cannot do anything. And this one is set to manual. And maybe I say, you know what, I actually needed 9 monitors. I don't know why, right? Me as the operator, I know what I needed. So I know that I have to book that, okay? Because it's I can edit it. Then the operator, this is so nice because I'm the user, then it says, you know what, resource time is backflash, which we saw. You finished 8. You're going to set it to completed. Absolutely. But it tells the operator, hey, you are issuing more than expected. We expected you to issue 8, but you are issuing 9. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to finish this. And this was, and now I will not see this production order on my screen again or this route stage because it's finished. So if I go back to the manager, I'm going to refresh the manager really quick. You will see that George is only working on 1. There we go, 184. Real time, beautiful for the managers. They know exactly what's going on. And you will see, I think it was 183, the one we just did. You see this one, all 3 steps are now completed because we just completed the 3rd one. And you see that I have the finalize button and I can finalize that now too. Okay, of course, I can go to my detail view and so on, what I'm supposed to do. So what else do I see here? So those are my steps and the priority, I think we talked about it. This is the settings up here where you can set priority. The system will calculate if it's high, medium, or low, but you as the manager can also change it. Any errors you see here, they have a box. I changed it manually. The ones that don't have a box, they are calculated by my settings here. That's why you see it like that. And you know what's really nice for the manager too? They can always filter from here, of course, and say, you know what, just show me the high priorities, make sure they're working on it. And you are able to map 3 user-defined fields, and you can display them on the manager side or on the operator side, because we got some requests, maybe the project on the production order, you want to see the project, or maybe the priority field, or you have a user-defined field. So yes, you can add those also. So that was Produce. Produce has the manager, full visibility, knows what's going on, full control, what they want to release, if I have the raw material in the stock or not. And then I have the operator, which execute the production orders. And as you saw, actually, I visited a very big plant. They loved it. It's just so easy to use. It's very nice look and feel and very easy to use. Okay. So now we're going to go over to inspect. So inspect is quality control. There's nothing in your system you have except user-defined fields probably, right? And do it manually. So now you have a solution because now we have inspect, the inspect app. So you have the quality manager. So in this case, you set up all the configuration right here, because nothing is in SAP. On Produce, you get your production orders from SAP, which makes sense because you have your sales orders, you run your MRP, then you create the production orders, and boom, I have it on my app. Okay. And here I set up all the automations, I set up my inspection plans, I set up my sampling plans, how many samples am I supposed to take, and so on. And then you have the operator is just like on Produce, except instead of production orders, they see inspection orders. Okay, so different roles. Now I'm in the quality control area. So let's go back in. Now we're gonna work on those two licenses. Let's put it, it's one app, okay, but two different licenses. And usually, just so if you're wondering, usually you do need one manager license on the apps. They have a manager, and that's one manager license, of course, is required, and then as many operators as you want. So let's go to inspect manager. The inspect manager logs on. In this case, what they see a list of inspection orders. We do not report there yet. I think we're going to create one, but it's because we do push back the results into SAP Business One to 4 tables, so you actually can create your own reports and stuff. But so there are all my inspection orders. Looks very similar like Produce, right? But here I see those are inspection orders and I see where they came from. So I have a bunch that came from goods receipt during production. Remember, we saw it actually on Produce. Okay, so it's really a big benefit if you do production and inspection that have Produce and inspect, because they can talk to each other. So, and then of course you can also have one after production. And I don't know if I have one. So it tells you where it's coming from. There we go. Production receipt, goods receipt, or in production. And you can always filter it from here too. Okay, so filters are everywhere. So I see what item it is. I see if when it was created, if there's a business partner involved, and so on. I also see that what's the status. These ones have been completed. This one, some are maybe in progress. I don't know if I have any in yellow. This one is in progress. So again, you as the manager can go in here and check it out. Somebody's working on this. Let me check it. Oh, I see this one came from a goods receipt from this vendor at this date. Okay. George is, it was received in by George. And I see there was 6 samples. And they have checked 4 so far. There is 2 more to go. That's why it's in progress. Okay. So, and they also see the results here. I'm going to get to that again. Okay. So again, the manager knows exactly what's going on. There's another one that's completed. Maybe the manager wants to see, it failed. Let me go to the results. Okay, it's failed. Sorry about that. My columns are a little bit messed up. So let me go to this one. This one failed. So you want to go in here and check it out. Oh, there was 2 samples on this one. One passed, one failed. Okay, so maybe you as the manager said, you know what, I'm going to send a quality certificate to this vendor and tell him that it did not pass. So you can actually print the quality certificate straight from here. Here it is, and print it and send it. Okay, so yes, that's also an option right here. So then the inspection manager has all those buttons. This means they are finalized. That means they're done. You can finalize them. So I don't have them on my list again. This one means they're being released, but not finished yet. I could finalize it and interrupt it if I wanted to. And this one are not released, just like on Produce that my inspectors cannot see it unless it's released. I don't know why it's not finalizing. I think I'm slowing down because of the video. So there we go. So all these statuses. So what else do I have? So you see right here. So when you have inspect, you do your configurations here. Let's actually start from the bottom. I always like to start from here. You put in your unit of measures here. They have nothing to do with your database. You put any unit of measure you need for your inspections. You need to weight something, you need to measure something, you need to whatever. You put it in here. Then you create your sampling plans. Sampling plans is, you know, when you're in production, I said, okay, after, or when I receive in, okay, if I receive in more than 100, then I need 10% samples. So that's 10. If it's 220%, I don't. You that up. You can say, I have fixed samples no matter what. It's always one. Or you put in a logic. You know, if you have B1 up, we always put logic and automate stuff. You say, if I get between 1 and 20, 10%, 21 and 50, 20%, and so on. That's why you saw on my inspection orders, I think it was 36 samples, because it's 20%. It does it automatically. Put in the logic, the system will do it for you. And then you set up the inspection plans. Of course, they cannot come from SAP Business One because we don't have any. You set them up here. And of course, you can have more than one. And if I go to this one here, you, of course, put the name, the description of the inspection plan, and then you could name it. You say, okay, the first test is a visual test. Approval target is 100, and it's a yes or no. But what you can do also, if it's a no, you want the inspector to put a defect code. I want to know why. So it's either bent sides, it's defect 1. So I want them to choose from one of those codes, the ones I have checked here. So that's also very nice. Can you imagine the reporting you can do on that? So the second one is a measurement. So there are my measurement units. And it's millimeters, it's between 5 and 7, and 6 is the one desired. Then of course you can have more than 2 tests. You can say another visual test, okay? And you go in here, well, past means this and failed means this. You can put attributes in there, whatever makes sense in your organization or your customer's organization, okay? So, and then you do another test and maybe another variable test. Maybe I have to leaders, I have to weight something, put leaders in there. So you go through it. Okay, in my case, I only have 2 tests because of demo purposes. You put as many tests as you want into your plans. So now I have everything set up. Now comes the fun part. You're all set up, you have it configured, I'm doing good. Now you go to automation. And now you have 3 tabs. So what are my rules when I do a goods receipt PO? What are my rules doing production? Remember, we saw one in Produce. What are my rules production receipt? So on my goods receipt, I have 3 rules. And what you do is you name the rule right here, a short description. This is my name. This is my short description. And now everything I configured comes handy. So what inspection plane am I attaching here? Which sampling plane am I attaching here? And then here are your perimeters. So I'm saying create one inspection order per document line or per batch, per serial number. You decide. Everybody's different. And what I like, release automatically. Remember on some inspection orders, they were not released. No, I want it to release automatically. I want my inspectors to be able to work on it right away. So, and what's really, really nice, if you bring in items as locked, batch items as locked, there's a setting in your SAP Business One. And when I receive something, it's locked because it needs to have inspection. And most people, they did inspection, then they had to change user-defined fields, then they have to go in there and release the batch. Here you can tell, inspect, say, you know what, release the batch if the inspection order passes. Pretty cool. And it does it. You don't have to go in and do it manually anymore. And then you put in your conditions. Is it based on an item? Is it based on a supplier? I'm buying something, item group or item property. You can always say and or, and then you put in your conditions. Okay. Same thing with in production. Of course, in production, I don't have as many possibilities because it's a during production, and you see it looks a little bit different. That's not, I don't even have anything on this one. Let me do this one. There we go. I should have seen it. This one is set up. So there again, you name it. You say inspection plan, sampling plan, and in this case, I say if operation is equal to 3 or 4. Remember, that's why I saw it on operation 4 because this is during production. Hey, once you start that, there needs to be an inspection. And you know what? If the produce operator has a license for inspect operator, they can do their own inspection because maybe they have to check a machine or whatever, or it's a different department. That's totally up to you. But anyway, this is doing production. What do I have? It's either based on a production order for a customer, operation, product group, product property. And then I have production receipt. And you guys know production receipt is really kind of the same, like if I receive goods receipt, but instead of a supplier, I'm receiving it in from production and it looks exactly like goods receipt. But the only thing is instead of supplier, I have customer because I'm saying I'm doing this production order for a customer, for example, or for a certain item group. And once you have this configured, as you saw here, they create automatically. And it tells you when they were created, where they're coming from. Okay. You see all those are not released. Those are all during production. They were created because I have a bunch of production order on there, but they're not released because this operation has not been started. It's a perfect example. Of course, you can always create a manual inspection order. Okay. So I found 20 pieces in a corner. I'm using this sampling plane, and I want this inspection order. Attach this inspection order and save it, and I have a manual inspection order. Of course, you can always do that. So that's what the manager is. You have your configuration here. You set up your automations. Now let's jump over really quick because we're almost out of time to inspection operator. And guys, it just looks just like produce, right? But instead of production orders, it is inspection orders. And if I go to this one, let's go to 97. George is working on it. And the way they see it is like this. They open it up. The inspectors also see where this inspection order is coming from what goods receipt, from what business partner, if there would be a batch number would show, and so on. And you see he has 10 samples he has to check. And he just continues and say next sample. And then they say, okay, this is my there we go. This one passed. This one had 7. Next sample, and so on. So they go in here. Maybe this one didn't pass. They are my defect codes. Love it. And then this was my measurements. Of course, I can always do like this too, and so on. Just one thing before I finish. So this is inspection order 97. And you know, if I go here now, it's in progress, and you will see that he has done 7. It's updated right away, so the manager knows right away what's going on. So let's do one more. I'm going to do one more, And let's just do this. And I'm going to do next. So I did 8 samples. And if I go here and open it up again, you see that it 8 samples. So it's totally real time, and you know exactly also on the inspection floor what's going on. Okay, so again, the inspect manager sets everything up, put in the logic. The operators have a tablet, they just do the inspection orders and put in there what they find. Okay, same, very similar to produce right here. So that was the 3 apps we said we're going to show you. I hope you liked it. Boyum Cloud, so it works through this SAP service layer. That's why I said at the beginning you plug into your service layer and it's connected to your database. That's the beauty of it. Okay. So now we can actually go back to Q&A. We have 5 minutes.
Thanks very much, Rosie. That was great. We've actually got a couple of questions already. So if anybody else wants to put any questions forward, there's a comment section. Please feel free to ask. If I just cover the ones we've got, Rosie, initially. So it's a question around the SAP licenses and sort of what licenses you need in order to use Boyum Cloud.
Good question. And oh gosh, I usually mentioned it. Good questions. Yes, you do need some sort of SAP Business One license, but a user-based indirect license is enough for any of those licenses. So don't forget that. So a user-based indirect license is enough. Good question. Yeah.
Just one from me. You mentioned obviously that this is effectively plug and play. What does it take to get it up and running?
It takes about a day, I would say, and that's probably a lot because you set up your service layer address, make sure the connection is okay, and then depending how big your database is, you have to synchronize each app one time, the first time, and then you're ready to go. For inspect, maybe you need a little bit more because you do have to do your configurations in here. But a day per app, I think is good.
No problem. And obviously any training, etc. we can
Exactly.
Yeah, no problem. Just a question here as well. So let's have a look. If I issue my production material ahead of time, how can I make sure the material is not booked again by the operator?
Exactly. So what I showed you here, this is good. So, and I didn't go to the screen. So in produce, remember when I was in the operator here, and I had this here, it says not required. So I don't have it on this one, but in Produce Manager, you have the flexibility and say, hey, you know what? There is a certain item group. I do not want the operator to book it. I want to give it to them. So you have a flexibility to set up, hey, I want the operator to book everything that's set to manual except this item or except this group. So then the operator won't be able to book it again. So you have the flexibility to issue it ahead of time with the scan, Potomac scan, and the operator has it already and they don't have to issue it and you don't have to backflash those items. It's still set to manual. Yeah. It's definitely, yeah, it's a setting you can do and it's super flexible.
Very good. There were a few questions before the webinar about reporting. So in terms of inspection and sort of utilizing the results that there, can the user create their own reports?
Yes, so you saw the quality certificate, so that comes in there. You cannot modify that, but we are pushing back the results into SAP, and a lot of customers, what they do, they create their own dashboard in SAP, or as you guys know, with B1 usability package, we also have web dashboards. Put it on a web dashboard, and you can create your own certificates. Yeah, absolutely. The inspection results are pushed back into your SAP Business One database.
Okay, brilliant. I think that's it. There's no more questions on the comments. Just wanted to bring Dan back in because of what we're also going to just confirm is an introductory offer. Over to you, Dan.
Absolutely. So we've agreed a promotional discount for APH customers, which is basically 10% off any of these cloud apps, which are with orders placed with APH before the end of September. So if you went for a standard 3-year subscription for one or more of these products, you'd be paying 10% less per month for the duration of that contract. Yeah, so get your orders in as soon as possible.
So that's anything, any orders confirmed before the end of September. So effectively, Q3 this year. Brilliant. No, I think we sort of come to an end. I'd like to thank Rosie for a great presentation, really informative. Just this is going to stay up on our YouTube channel, so you can refer back to it. We're going to send it on to any customers that couldn't make it today, and hopefully we'll see you soon for our next webinar.